A U.S. effort to rescue the hostages in Iran was aborted by President Carter after an equipment failure forced a change in plans. 8 Americans were killed when 2 U.S. aircraft collided as the American volunteers were being pulled out of a remote area of the Iranian desert. We now know the rescue attempt was launched at about 5 p.m. our time, that the President made the decision to abort the mission at about 9 o'clock. The news broke at about 1 o'clock this morning, informing the nation that all the volunteers had been removed from the Iranian desert base, and that President Carter would make a statement on the abortive rescue attempt at 7 o'clock this morning. We have a portion of that address.
This rescue attempt had to await my judgment that the Iranian authorities could not or would not resolve this crisis on their own initiative. With the steady unraveling of authority in Iran and the mounting dangers that were posed to the safety of the hostages themselves, and the growing realization that their early release was highly unlikely, I made a decision to commence the rescue operations plans. This attempt became a necessity and a duty. The readiness of our team to undertake the rescue made it completely practicable. Accordingly, I made the decision to set our long-developed plans into operation. I ordered this rescue mission prepared in order to safeguard American lives, to protect America's national interest, and to reduce the tensions in the world.
In his statement, the President alluded to the first phase of the operation. Obviously, he did not detail what was to follow: the establishment of the base of operations in the remote desert town that lies about an hour and a half's flight time from Tehran, and, of course, the American embassy. There has been, of course, much reaction. 3 people that we were able to talk with and listen to, Senator Jacob Javits of New York and Senator John Glenn, were both cautious in their appraisal. They urged our nation to be cool, the people to be cool, to watch and wait for the next few hours and days to see what the reaction, of course, would be in Iran and to their people. Ghutsbadeh, the foreign minister of Iran, said that they too were taking a reasoned approach. They, of course, regretted the American action, called it warlike and all of those kind of things, but he too took a conciliatory tone. And also in conversation with Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, the former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, he thought that the action taken by the President was a positive one. He thought that it was about time that we act with some decision and decisiveness, and he said it would prove to the Iranian people and to the neighboring Russians, of course, that we take this matter very seriously, and he thought that we ought not to apologize for the action that we have taken. That comment from former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger. And to repeat for you now, the United States has launched an effort to rescue the hostages being held in the U.S. Embassy in Iran. That effort was aborted by what was described as an equipment failure by the President, as the volunteer force was being pulled out of the base in Iran, an Iranian desert town, Tabriz. A collision occurred between 2 American aircraft, resulting in the deaths of 8 Americans. We do now have on the phone William Worthy, former professor at Boston University, a former Nieman Fellow at Harvard University.